As everyone probably knows, the worst kept secret in this country that there's likely an election campaign starting either sometime later this week as of this recording, likely probably on Sunday, August 15th. And so there are a number of pro-life candidates that are running out there to either get elected into the House of Commons or running in re-elections in tight swing ridings. And so that's our focus in this election, is to focus on those tight swing ridings, narrow down on those, and make sure that we get those people either elected to the House or re-elected.
Hi, this is Doug Sharpe, host of the National Leadership Briefing, and this is the Midweek Touchpoint. Well, this week we are so close to an election. We just cannot take a look at anything else right now. We're only going to be talking about elections for the next little while here, because we want to make sure that you arrive on E-Day ready to make that informed decision as to who will represent or who best represents your views and values. Now, in the meantime, though, there are all sorts of opportunities where we can exercise influence. So this Midweek Touchpoint this week, I wanted to focus on one such opportunity that is before us, and it involves getting together with an organization called Right Now, who are actively working to prepare for the election, and they have got strategies that they're deploying. And this first one here, we're going to tell you about right now. I'm going to introduce you now to Scott Hayward, who is a founder of Right Now, the organization, and Scott's got some valuable information for us. Well, thanks so much, Scott, for taking the time to join us today. We've got a very important day coming up this Saturday. It's August 14th, starts at 3 p.m. You have a meeting that everyone who wants to have an impact and exercise their influence should know about. Can you tell us what is going on this Saturday, August 14th?
You bet. And thanks, Doug, for having me on once again. It's always great to work with you and the people on your team. So as everyone probably knows, the worst kept secret in this country that there's likely an election campaign starting either sometime later this week as of this recording, likely probably on Sunday, August 15th. And so there are a number of pro-life candidates that are running out there to either get elected into the House of Commons or running in re-elections in tight swing ridings. And so that's our focus in this election, is to focus on those tight swing ridings, narrow down on those, and make sure that we get those people either elected to the House or re-elected. And the best way to do that is through door knocking. So if you live in one of those areas across the country, this is what we're going to be talking about on Saturday. We're going to be talking about what you as an individual can do and how much of impact you can have as an individual on getting a pro-lifer elected to the House of Commons in the upcoming election. So we're going to have yourself, Doug, or you're going to be on there with me. We're going to have Faitine Grasecki from For My Canada. We're going to have some people that are involved in various national political parties, as well as some people who've done some door knocking in the past and can tell about, as a first-time door knocker, kind of what their feeling was and how much of an impact they did eventually have on the campaign. So I really hope everyone who is watching this feels the call and the invitation to come in on Saturday. We'd love to have you Saturday afternoon on the 14th at 3 p.m. Eastern. So that's noon Pacific.
Okay, now, Scott, there might be people that are watching this right now and might be saying, okay, I don't know anything about door knocking. I've never done it before. Or maybe they have done it before and they just don't feel comfortable doing it. Is it fair to say that just getting the information, joining the call, and just finding out what's going on is valuable? Because I know there's people out there that have friends. They might be able to mobilize people to actually join teams themselves. So if they can't do it themselves, or if they just feel like they don't know anything about it, it's still important that they come on the call. Is that fair to say?
I think that's a really good point. And, you can never have too much information when it comes to stuff like this, right? It's not a situation where more information is bad. And perhaps there's some people who are maybe a little bit hesitant and, you don't really know if it's something you want to do, you're comfortable with, and you come onto this call. Hopefully the team that's on the call that's going to be talking about this is going to be able to convince you who is watching this that maybe to take that step a little outside of your comfort zone. So for those who, first off, who live in these areas where we really do need door knockers and are a little bit hesitant, the one thing I want to say, even if you're not able to come on the call on Saturday, which we'll have it recorded, by the way. So if people are already busy on Saturday, or they can't make the whole meeting, or maybe they, like you said, they want to share it with some friends who maybe live in one of those areas where we need a door knocker, or maybe you're not physically able to go out, but some of your friends are, and you want to share that recording, that's also something we can do. But if you are someone who lives in one of those areas that is thinking about door knocking, you're a little bit hesitant, the one thing I will say is, come to this presentation, learn a little bit more. And it's one of those things where, what we want, of course, from our organization's perspective, and of course yours, Doug's, is those who share our values, we want them in the House of Commons. If you really want something really bad, you got to make a bit of a sacrifice. So in this instance, a sacrifice of time, also a sacrifice a little bit of comfort, to just slightly step out of that comfort zone. So we're going to have people on the call who did that last time and kind of guide you through it and tell you that, it was something that they was worthy of doing. The other people who might be watching this video might live in areas where, they have a pro-life candidate, and they might be in a rural remote riding, and they're going to win by a large margin anyway. What are some other things that you can do in addition to phone calls? And we'll talk a little bit about that in addition to door knocking, give it away right there, making some phone calls if you can't door knock. We're going to talk about a little bit about that on Saturday as well.
Wow, critical information at a critical time in our nation. And I know you're familiar with our team here. We know when it's go time, we're ready to go. So I'm going to send out the registration link for everybody. And even if you can't make it, Scott, is it fair to say that if they can't make it, should they still register for the calls so that they get contact with you in the future? Or what's
Absolutely.
the best way to? Okay.
Yeah. Register for the link, and feel free to reach out to Doug, or feel free to reach out to me at any point. If you want a copy of the recording, happy to provide that to you.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks so much, Scott. I appreciate your time today, and I'm looking forward to being with you this Saturday, August 14th at 3 p.m. Eastern, when we're going to do something big to have great influence on our nation and outcome of this election. Appreciate your time.
Looking forward to it.
Okay, so it is go time here in Canada, and that is Scott Hayward, of course, with Right Now, and we need to take advantage of these opportunities to come together and exercise our influence at election time. So here is what I would like you to do to ensure that you get the information that you need so that you can register for this meeting. Send me an email to president@familyaction.ca. That's president@familyaction.ca, and I will reply to you with a link to this meeting on Saturday, August the 14th. Okay, so it's president@familyaction.ca. And remember what Scott said, information doesn't hurt. To have extra at election time doesn't hurt. And even if you're not the door knocker, maybe somebody you know is. So if they know how to get in touch with you and you're registered for the meeting, you can get a copy of that video and share it in your sphere of influence. So thank you so much for your attention to this week's Midweek Touchpoint. And we look forward to seeing you on the election trail ahead. And of course, we will continue to keep providing you tools that'll help you make that all-important informed choice on election day. Thank you so much for your time. In the meantime, God bless you, God bless your family, and may God continue to bless this great nation of Canada. Bye for now.